Hey guys, it's Annie Margarita Yang back with another video for you today. Today is Friday, February 2nd, 2024. Before I get started today, which is a free day for me, I can talk about anything I want, which is today I'm basically going to continue where I left off last Friday because I ran out of storage and I wasn't able to finish speaking. I just wanted to share some news, which isn't the best news. So I was able to log into my website, annieyangfinancial.com, just fine yesterday. I made some updates. My employee and I, we log into our website every single day on the back end to make updates to the website because we've been posting podcast recordings and embedding them on the site every time they get released, and that's about one a day. So we keep updating it every time another one gets released. And then today, suddenly we couldn't log in. And if you check out annieyangfinancial.com right now, the site is down. And I had to email Squarespace customer service to ask, what's going on? Why is my website down? And the customer service rep responded back that my account has been suspended due to suspicious activity, and that to reactivate my account, I would need to submit a picture of a government ID. So I had to send them a picture of my driver's license. And then she said, okay, we've reinstated your account. I've sent a password reset to your email. So then I reset the password, I logged in, but then upon logging into the back end and checking everything, my site was gone, basically. Like, all the content that I had, that I had put up all these months, right? Everything is not there anymore on the back end and on the front end. You can't see anything. It just says, if you go, I don't remember exactly what it says on the front end, but it's down basically. And so I had to email again, and then I was like, so I've reset the password, I've logged in just fine, right? I've gotten access, where's my website? And then they told me I had to make a brand new account with a totally different email address, and then they'll move my site over on the back end from the old account to the new account. And then I was like, okay, I've made a new account. Here's my new account. And then they were just like, great, we'll escalate this to product support or something like that. It's definitely a really weird development. I was like, okay. I mean, it just seems like my husband is just like, oh, it's probably just something technical. I mean, it's not technical. The server's not down. Like, what am I supposed to say? Like, my site was suspended for suspicious activity. Like, what suspicious activity am I doing? Am I taking this too personally? Am I thinking about this way too much? I don't know, but like, it's just, you know, I made in a different video, I spoke about 3 weeks back about censorship. You know, first I'm blocked from sending Facebook messages. Then I'm blocked from sending text messages twice. And then trying to send packages out with postage stamps, half of them got returned to me. And then now my website is down due to suspicious activity, and I had to submit a government ID to prove who I was. It's just too weird. I don't know what's going on. Maybe I'm overthinking it. Or maybe I've gotten on some government list, for all you know. Some list that the government maintains. Maybe I'm gotten some attention for something. I don't know. I haven't said anything controversial. I just sit here every day to give advice on how you can get ahead in your job search. And then at the end of the video, I might say something, just a little tidbit about the banking crisis and what you can do, but not major. I mean, there are other YouTubers out there who go a lot more in depth into the economy and into banking and all the problems. All I do is I just scratch the surface a little bit. I don't go too far. So that's why I say at the end of every video, it's really important that you stay in contact with me directly and not through these platforms, because look, my own website is down out of nowhere due to suspicious activity. So please, if you could get in contact with me via Signal so that I could add you to my address book just in case anything ever happens and I need to get a hold of people and stay in touch. My phone number is 806-544-2929. Download the Signal app, add my phone number, send me a text message. I say Signal because it's end-to-end encrypted so that the government cannot read the text messages that are sent between me and you. Okay, so let's get started on today's topic, which was basically last Friday I was saying, does anyone else hear voices in their head? Like, can anyone hear messages from God? Or does anyone even understand what's going on? Like, what is going on in my head? I don't understand. And I was in the middle of describing a dream that I had back on May 29, 2023. So basically, in this dream, I was in a museum and I had just finished having lunch with my boss and a female coworker that I don't actually recognize in real life, but in the context of this dream, I just fully accepted in the context of this dream that she was my coworker. She was the office manager or something. We just finished lunch and we were waiting for the next exhibit to start at the museum. I was just waiting in line. My boss had gone to the bathroom. I was having conversation at the door of this exhibit with my female coworker. And then all of a sudden, she's an angel, right? Like she's like blonde hair, blue eyes, she's white, like just a very beautiful, beautiful woman wearing a light blue gown. And she is so tall that my height compared to hers is I'm up to her shoulder. So she's a whole head taller than me. And she didn't like appear from like across the room and walked up to me. She like appeared 1 foot away from me to my left at this angle. So a 45-degree angle to my left. She just appeared out of thin air. And then she starts talking and I'm not looking at her. I'm not responding back to her. I'm just talking to my coworker. I was like, do you see this woman that just popped up next to me who's trying to talk to me? And then my coworker just goes, I don't know what you're talking about. There's nothing there. And then I was like, how do you not see her? She's like right here. She's only 1 foot away from me and she won't stop talking. You cannot see or hear something next to me. And then she's like, there's nothing there, Annie. And then the woman, the angel, she interrupts and she just goes, oh honey, don't even try to bother to try to convince her something's there because I'm speaking to you from like a totally different dimension. This is different. She goes, this is not the same dimension as the dream dimension that you see in front of you. So if you turn to me and you talk back to me, what everyone sees is they don't see me and they don't even see your lips moving if you're talking to me. They're just going to think you're looking at like a blank wall. You're just staring into space. So you can just turn over and talk to me. And then I was like, what? It just didn't make any sense. Now that I'm trying to process after it's happened, like that there's a dream realm and then there's this totally separate angelic realm where they're trying to talk to me from. It's just different, and the characters in the dream can't even tell that someone is talking to me from a different realm. They cannot tell. And so I'm talking to this angel and basically she is so articulate. She is very articulate and eloquent with her words. That's the best I can describe it. And this, in terms of like time space, it felt like a 10-minute conversation with her. And basically the main thing that she wanted to tell me is that everything we have planned for you, everything that was set out in the original plan has happened. And we have done our best to streamline and optimize everything on the back end to make sure that we stayed on track with the original plan. And then I was very intrigued. I was like, so there's an original plan, but what about things that weren't supposed to happen? Were there things in my life that weren't supposed to happen, that was not part of the original plan? And then she said, well, we all have free will. And it seems to me from watching you that you're the kind of person you like to take on additional side projects. And we've been okay with you taking on side projects so long as you stuck to the original plan. And you have. So we were okay with you doing side projects. I was like, okay. And then she closed off the conversation. So like toward the end of this dream where things started like disconnecting, right? One of the last things she said to me was, by the way, Annie, we've spoken many times before. This isn't your first time talking to me. And then I was just like, but I don't recognize you. Like I've never seen your face before. I don't remember you at all. She's like, no, you've spoken to me many times. You might not know my face, but unconsciously in your dreams, you've entered the angelic realm without realizing it. And that's how we managed to talk to each other. But don't worry, we definitely have spoken many times. I was like, really? She's like, yeah. And then that was the end of the dream. She slowly was removed from the dream, and then I was just back into like this regular dream world where it's just, you know, crazy weird dream stuff where there was a shower in the exhibit and water was splashing down on me when it's not a bathroom. I'm in a museum exhibit, so it's just weird things like that. I'm not sure whether you can take this as real or maybe I totally imagined it, but like they implied that there is some sort of original plan that we all have before we are born, and somehow we're supposed to follow this original plan that we had, that we don't even remember what the plan is. I still don't remember what the plan is. I'm just like following things what I feel is right, but I don't actually remember what is it exactly that was planned. And then I remember specifically, like, this isn't the first time I had a dream where I met an angel. This is actually the second time. So back in high school, I had a dream where I met two angels. One was of average height and the other was very short, like half of my height. And the context, the background of this dream was like, I was just sitting in like the lobby of a hotel, and then all of a sudden, like these two angels, which I didn't think were angels, they just looked like normal people, normal everyday people, were just like going around like flying and doing stuff. I don't know. And I asked, who are you guys? Who are you guys? And then they were just like, oh, we're your guides. We're your spirit guides. We watch over you and we protect you. And then I was like, oh, so do you guys know things about my life and things like that? Are you guys able to give me the answer? They're like, yeah, what question do you have? And then I asked, what am I here to do? Like, what was I born to do? If I was born to do something, if we all have a life purpose, what exactly was it? I asked them. This is during my high school years when I was very lost and confused before my life has unfolded the way it has. Like, I was questioning. This is the time in my life when I was debating whether I should go straight to college and take on student loan debt. And they were just like, we do know the answer. We know what you were born to do. We know your life purpose, but we're not allowed to tell you the answer. They're just like, we're not allowed. We don't have permission to tell you the answer. I was just like, what? Come on, can you please tell me? They're just like, we can't. So there's that. And then I think maybe a final experience that I can share is sometime a few months ago, I took a course. It's similar to Mind Valley's The Silva Method. I met a podcast host through my guesting. I met her through podcasting, and I found out that she was like a spiritual teacher and that she can teach you how to manifest things in your life. And so while I'm already like pretty good, things kind of just like fall into my life naturally and coincidentally. It's almost like everything just falls into place, and my intuition is very strong. I'm always open to learning more, right? Like I feel like I don't know enough, or like I don't know what I don't know. So I'm always open. If somebody knows more than me or knows something different from me, I want to hear what they have to say. I want to learn from them. And so she was talking about the Silva method, and then I was like, oh, I've always heard about it on YouTube. I get the advertisements, but I always thought this was like some sort of scammy gimmick trying to maybe take advantage of people. So it was nice to kind of like meet like a real live person who told me that she actually got results from the Silva method and that she teaches her own version, like her own way of the Silva method. So I wanted to take her course. So I took her 5 or 6 week group course. And during the final one, that's when we call in our council. So apparently we can call in our council. So these are like entities that are not of this world, Earth, that we know it. And the whole group of us, we can try to relay the messages that we're sensing. So whether we see things, whether we hear things, and we all go in a circle in this group. For each person, what the messages are. So for the 3 other people in this group, the messages that were coming through were very slow. They're very like short and abstract and open to interpretation. But then when it came to me, when I was asking like the question to this council for which this group of people were channeling the messages in for, I was asking about like, how is the 5-day job search going to grow? Like, I just don't understand, like, how is this going to work out? Is everything on track? What's going on? And then the messages came in for like 20 minutes straight. And it was just like message after message after message after message. And then like when it was all done, the other 2 ladies of the group, at the end of it, when we came out of the very relaxed state and then back to like full waking consciousness, they were just like, we have never had an experience like that before. They were just like, that was crazy. How many messages just passed right through to the mouth, like to just start speaking. They were just like, it's insane how clear and how many messages were coming from me. And then I was just like, but this, what they experienced, right, was actually like a daily occurrence for me. So like every morning for 1 hour in the morning, and then every night for 1 hour before I fall asleep, as I'm in bed, I hear things. So I hear like random things of like what I should do next. What should I say in today's video? Like, what is the topic for today's video? What is the message for the day? Basically, I hear that stuff. I don't have like a pre-made plan for the topics of these videos that I make every day. Like I just hear like, okay, this is what people need to hear today, right? So then I literally just speak what I heard that you guys need to hear today, if that makes sense. And then, you know, some people have messaged me on Signal and said, your messages were right on target. They were just what I needed to hear. So I'm basically like just a pass-through mechanism. I'm just like the vehicle, I think, for the messages that are coming from up there. I'm just passing it on, basically. Yeah, I think that's the final story. Yeah, I don't really have anything else to share, honestly. That was a lot of stories about the spiritual experiences that I've had and the things that I've heard. I guess maybe one last thing I can explain is I've always asked, I've wondered for a long time, why does someone need to hit rock bottom? It was very confusing to me because I hit my rock bottom. You can read the story in the 5-day job search. I hit it when I was 19. I hit it very young. And I asked them, like, why does anyone need to hit rock bottom? What's the importance of this? And it's simply like we all planned for our rock bottom. Like there are certain events and milestones in our life that were pre-planned, that while you have free will, because it was part of the original plan and the contract before you were born, you can't avoid it. You cannot negotiate your way out of it. You cannot ask God to get you out of it. Like there were things that were planned well ahead of time, where circumstances force you to be where you end up when you hit rock bottom. And when you do hit rock bottom, that's where you learn to grow. Like that's where you really learn how to be stronger, because if you never hit the bottom, you don't learn how to be stronger, how to be more confident. That's what it's for. When bad things happen to you, it basically shows you what you're made of. Like when you have a divorce or you have bankruptcy, when terrible things happen to you, accidents, illnesses, like these horrible things, they make you, they basically force you to rise to the occasion. So you can either rise to the occasion and show just how strong you are by overcoming your obstacles, or you can basically like spiral downhill even worse from there into drugs and alcohol and tobacco, like all of these substances that basically numb you, if you get what I mean. So that's basically why we have to hit rock bottom. And maybe that's, if anyone needs to hear why, who's watching this, there's the message for you. I guess that's it for you guys tonight. I wish you guys have a great weekend, and remember, because of censorship, please connect with me. Add me on Signal. My phone number is 806-544-2929, and I will see you guys next week.